Memory trains travel on bumpy tracks. I cannot remember my happy time with Alice without thinking about the most painful turn in my road, the day I killed her, and the events that led up to it. Our initial days after our wedding were absolute heaven. I was surprised how much two humans can be so much in love with each other. But then the call from my parents came when they found out that I had married without their knowledge or consent. The cracks started appearing. After my breakup phone call with my father, my ego did not allow me to call him again. I was angry with my mother, though, for not supporting me, but I wanted to talk to her, even if it was to tell her how angry I was with her. But I did not. Alice was, of course, upset and angry that my father had called her a wench, but she was the first to let go of the anger. She urged me to make peace with my parents not long after the incident. I went back to my old tactic of saying that I would address it at the right moment. A year goes by. I'm thriving in my job. Alice has passed her teaching certification requirements. We are very much in love. I have not tried calling India. They have not tried calling me. I try not to think about that lingering lesion. I am content with Alice and the time I spend with her. I have not stayed in touch with friends from my past. One of my roommates from the university calls me on a Friday night. He conveys his condolences for my mother's loss. It is a moment of sheer horror. I come to learn that he had visited India recently and through his parents' friends came to know that my mother had passed 6 months ago. Cardiac failure. I think there is a misunderstanding. I disconnect and call my parents' number immediately. "What happened to Amma?" I scream when my father picks up the phone. "Who is this?" my father asks sarcastically. "What happened to Amma?" I yell. "Someone here told me that she had a cardiac arrest." My wife, Mrs. Saroja Venkatraman, died a few months ago of a cardiac arrest. Since she does not have any living children, I did the final rites for her. My head is pounding. I explode. "Why didn't you? You egoistic bastard, The line disconnects. I call again, and again, and again. My father picks up the phone. "Listen, sir," he tells me curtly as he picks up the phone. "Please do not call this number and bother me. And do not try to visit. You are not welcome here." He hangs up again. I keep calling to no avail. When I call again the next morning, I learn that the phone line is permanently disconnected. They say time heals everything. For me, time only hid my pain under layers and layers of everyday realities. Whenever the memories of my mother came calling, I would shove them back into a dark room and pretend that everything was great. Along the way, I started drinking. First on the weekends to numb my guilt, but then, every so often, no excuses needed. This created a rift between me and Alice. We were both doing well in our jobs. She had found a job teaching in an elementary school which she loved. We still loved each other, but we were quarreling more and more. The alcohol was becoming my excuse to say unkind things to her. I would inevitably apologize, and we would patch up. But patches are patches. They are held together by threads that fray. Alice began going away to her parents in Baton Rouge during the weekends to escape my toxicity. My relationship with her parents, which was never really cozy at any point, became even more jagged. Another 5 slow years dragged by. Around the 6th anniversary of our wedding, after a particularly emotional weekend of quarreling and reconciliation, I decided to sober up. I threw away the bottles, made promises to leave behind my past, and signed up for Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. Life seemed to be finally getting back on track. Finally, the happy news came. Alice was pregnant. The anticipation of the new baby was a healing force between me and Alice's parents. I had long given up trying to contact my own father.